What's up, everybody? Raging Turbo Nerd here. Got something a little different for you guys today. This is Chicken Police, painted red. Picked this game up a little while ago on sale, and I gotta tell you, it looks really interesting. It's essentially a Sin City-esque chicken noir detective game. And I'm gonna play it for you guys.
I ran out to get a pack of cigarettes, but I left my wallet at home. Yeah, that's me. And I'm getting old. My name is Sonny Featherland, an investigator for 20 years, and once the star of the predatory division of the Clawville Police Department, one half of the legendary Chicken Police. But buying a pack of smokes is more than I can handle right now. Maybe I should just lay low. Yeah, I'll do that. The most colorful place in the wilderness. For all the gods, what bullshit. The last clucking color left this city years ago. And slowly I'll turn gray too.
Very sincere.
Still, what do I expect? We're living in a vast experiment, and don't even notice that everything got clucked up a long time ago. We believe in this wonderland of peaceful coexistence. Wolves and sheep, chickens and hounds. Yeah, sure, why not? It's just ridiculous. The dog eats the chicken. It's in our nature. I'm not propping up the illusion anymore. 121 days, and it's over. Retirement. What could possibly go wrong?
Never ask that question, buddy. Never. That's when it all goes wrong. Why, hello.
Ah, crap. My office lock is a piece of shit if a dame can pick it. She stood in the darkness. The light painted stripes on her body. It whispered secret little things that were never there in the first place. But she was no zebra. Reality was just a light switch away. Elizabeth or Charlotte? I was sure she'd have a sophisticated-sounding name. She had a bygone look in her eyes, older than this ancient building, and perhaps the whole city itself. Or maybe I'm just drunk. But she was the first womanly thing in my place for a long time, so I had to give her a chance.
Let's do it. Turn the lights on.
This is one of the most beautiful memories from my old life, before Molly left me and took our daughter.
It's pretty classic detective trope right there. Drunk, alcohol, wild, she took the kids.
We used to be star cops a few years ago. Tabloid press, radio interviews, and even a book series. I don't miss those days. Of course, Marty, my old partner, would disagree. He just loved the spotlight.
Wonder where the partner is now, eh?
The Wild Gentlemen. Those guys rebuilt the city after the Great Fire of 867. My heroes when I was a little chick. I'm starting to think they should have left Clawville as it was, burned to the ground.
It's not a very nice sentiment.
M.B. Davis, the eternal king of jazz. The photo is from the days of jazz prohibition. I only heard the old man live one time, but I'll never forget that night. And not only because I woke up at the harbor without my gun, my badge, and my pants.
You know, there's innuendos to make, considering that my character is a chicken. and a rooster. But I've got the sinking suspicion that this game's gonna make all of my innuendos for me. So I'll try not to squeeze too many in for you guys.
The good things in life don't last long. The best ones always leave first. I saw that in the window of a shoe store. I never understood it, or what it had to do with shoes.
It has nothing to do with shoes. Quite philosophical for a shoe store.
My wallet and my badge. The wallet is real. The badge ain't. Chief Bloodboil took mine, so I got this one out of a pack of cornflakes, just in case.
Is that mildly racist? I mean, there's a rooster on the cornflakes box. Is that racist? I don't know. You guys let me know.
My last cigarette. You're lucky I don't have a light, pal. She doesn't seem so dangerous that I need to grab my gun, but you never know.
It's a pretty nice piece.
I don't even know what these papers are.
Neither do I, buddy.
I promised myself I'd write a novel one day.
Me too. Me too.
I don't even know where the key is. Whatever's inside is gonna stay there forever.
Same. Wait, what?
Books I'm never gonna read. Maybe nobody ever has.
Shame. Truly a shame. I love reading. I read all the time. Yeah. You guys, I have a lot of books. Still more to read.
I don't see colors anymore. Only emptiness. Everything faded. I need another drink.
Or to get your eyes checked. Alright.
Who is this dame, anyway? And what the cluck is she doing in my apartment on New Year's Eve?
What the cluck? Okay.
Let me introduce myself. My name is Deborah. Miss Deborah Ibanez.
Why, hello, Deborah.
You're mistaken, ma'am.
Oh, really? Please enlighten me, Mr. Featherland.
Sensing some weird sexual tension.
I'm not a private eye. I'd recommend Mr. Philmar Lowe instead of me. He's a nice guy.
I can be a nice guy sometimes.
Believe me, Mr. Featherland, it's not an accident I came to you.
Look, miss, I work for the police, and I'm currently on leave. I couldn't accept private commissions even if I wanted to. Not even from a classy dame like you.
Are you sure about that, Sonny?
Am I that easy to read?
With the subtitles, yes.
That's my job. But tell me, since you've invited yourself in, would you like a drink?
Love one.
I don't usually drink.
Well, I've got to have one. And it'd be rude of me to drink alone. So, maybe some sherry?
If you insist. But bourbon, please.
Thank the wild ones. That's all I have.
The wild ones. Is that like they're gods? Am I sensing a pattern here?
What a coincidence.
So come on, spill it from the beginning.
Let it out. Who are you? Who am I? Who do you work for? And how many fingers am I holding up?
That's better. Now, if I understand correctly, your mistress is receiving threats. What kind of threats, exactly?
The threatening type.
It's a very strange matter. First, there were letters. Then it came printed on a wine bottle's label, sent as a gift. Then carved into a brick, thrown through the window. And finally, they painted it on the wall of the house in giant red letters.
Red rum. Red rum.
I think it's time to dig a little deeper. If you don't mind, I'd like to ask you some routine questions.
Do you like apple juice?
Please, that's why I'm here.
Apple juice. The victim, a lady, is the target of some strange threats. All of them are written. Deborah Jimenez. Impala. Female. Pretty and fragile. Nothing too special. It's kind of rude. That's rude. I'm gonna call that rude. She runs errands for her employer. A sophisticated lady, but I don't think she's from a particularly wealthy or influential family. Focus on what you know about the suspect. Is he or she suspicious? Concentrate on that. Okay. Okay, can I pull the good cop, bad cop and really razzle dazzle this fine dame?
I must be cautious and smart. This dame seems shy, which I can use to my advantage. But I must be careful about what I say to her, or I could scare her off. Let's start gently, and when the time comes, we can go in hard.
Yeah, there's the innuendos I was talking about. So they are just going to kind of deliver them to me. Awesome.
Who exactly are you, ma'am?
I'm not somebody important, Mr. Featherland.
You're important enough to deal with such a delicate matter, right?
Zing.
I carry out the wishes of my employer, nothing more. This means simple paperwork, most of the time.
You've been thrown into deep water, sweetheart. Tell me, can you even swim?
Believe me, this is just as unpleasant for me as it is for you, if not even more.
I will say I'm impressed with the voice acting so far. I'm digging it. Really digging it.
You're not very confident. Are you sure you're all right?
Yes, excuse me. I'm just a bit nervous. I've never done anything like this before.
Neither have I. It's my first time playing.
Breaking into the apartments of strangers isn't that big a deal. Some people do it as a hobby.
Burn.
Please don't make fun of me, Mr. Featherland. This is hard for me as it is.
You're right. Sorry. Did you come alone? All by yourself?
Clearly.
I took the subway, then the tram, and then I walked. It wasn't easy to find this place, and to be honest, I had to be discreet.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm starting to get the picture.
This is quite unpleasant for me.
Why did you come to visit me? Why not your employer herself?
Could have just called as well. That would have been sufficient.
My employer is Miss Natasha Katsenko. She hasn't been leaving her home lately, only if she really has to.
I like the pun. This game's very punny so far. It's really, really ticking all the boxes for me.
How so?
Of course she's a cat.
Miss Natasha is afraid. She's scared because of those unwanted messages, and everyone knows who she is.
So she's that kind of woman.
I don't know what you mean.
Making assumptions now, aren't you there, Sonny?
Of course you do, Deborah. Thank you, by the way. We're finally getting somewhere. We avoided the point long enough. Deborah's hiding something, no question. Let's focus on that. What do you want from me?
Me?
Yeah, you're in my office.
Oh, don't be silly, Deborah. I mean your employer. I was just talking to myself, out loud.
Like I do every day.
Well, Miss Katsenko thinks you're a great detective, and you're also reliable. That's why I came.
Thank you.
Did she also give you the lockpick?
No, you left it unlocked. You're just an idiot.
Please, could you let this go? I'm really embarrassed.
Sorry, sweetheart, I'm just teasing you. As soon as I saw you, you were forgiven.
Smooth.
That's very nice of you.
If you're blushing, I can't tell. Everything's in black and white.
It has nothing to do with being nice, Deborah, but you're welcome. Don't you think this whole thing is a little suspicious?
A little bit, yeah.
Look, Santino, I'll explain everything.
I have no doubt about that. You look just the type, sweetheart. No offense.
Sounded kind of offensive. Just a teeny bit offensive.
I'll take that as a compliment. Or maybe I'll act like I haven't heard it.
You see, we're starting to understand each other. If you won't come clean, what's the point of all this?
I mean, yeah. Just beating around the bush.
But, Mr. Featherland...
I'm sorry, sweetheart, but I'm way too old for this game.
Please, just think again. For me and my mistress's sake.
Tell me, Deborah, why should I believe you at all?
Because my mistress trusts you.
Does she? I don't know her very well.
Should that be enough?
If you really like what she thinks you are, then yes.
Damn, what can I say to that?
Tartar sauce.
Look, I didn't mean to back you up against the wall.
Or did you?
You have a way with words, sweetheart. Did you ever want to be a cop?
No, not for the world.
Heh, smart answer. Be honest and tell me what you're so afraid of.
Shadows.
You know, Mr. Featherland, my mistress's partner is Hobart Wessler. Or as most people know him...
Ibn Wessler, the Kingpin.
Oh, joy.
Exactly.
Feathery gods, help me.
So you get it now. The secrecy.
Not all that much, but go on.
To put it mildly, I think I understand it all. Wessler. This little piece of the puzzle changes everything.
I'll take decent. I'll take it. That's how you do it, partner. Not quite like old times, but you still got it. The old rooster still remembers some tricks. Hey. Important clue. The employer, Natasha's current significant other, is the infamous gangster, Ibn Wessler. The mysterious messenger, Miss Deborah Ibanez's employer, is a certain Miss Natasha Katzenko. The employer, Natasha's current significant other, is the infamous gangster, Ibn Wessler. Natasha Katzenko, cat, female. She has remarkably green eyes, and she is definitely in trouble. So am I. We've already been over this. Thank you. And the girl, currently the girlfriend of the notorious gangster Ibn Wessler, this explains a lot of things, mainly the excessive secrecy. Hobart Ibn Wessler, rat, good-looking, charismatic, and a clucking gangster. One of the most well-known gangsters in Clawville. Real estate mogul, bank director, museum owner, distiller, smuggler, and information broker. And that's only the half of what I've heard about him. He has his dirty little paws everywhere in the city center. Yeah, is that racist?
Why don't you take it to the police? Just go there and file a report. Photos, flashing lights, fingerprints, you know the drill. The evidence is very clear. Even a moderately talented detective could easily wrap this case up. Or just try the phone. 555-111.
Please, take a look at this.
Oh God, please put it away.
Well, okay. Let's see.
I know Molly very well. Please note this when deciding whether or not to accept my assignment. Miss Ibanez is a trusted friend. Treat her as gentleman. N.
Because Molly is Sonny's ex-wife.
I felt like I'd been hit on the back of my head with a blackjack. Reality tilted. Molly. Good gods. What was her name doing there? I glanced at the opposite wall, with the well-worn picture frames. Like an eternally dark hole in the wall. A missing piece. She was wearing a light silk dress and singing a lullaby. The waves caressing her beautiful long legs. Why Molly? Why now?
Why indeed?
Mr. Featherland? Santino, are you all right?
What the hell is this supposed to mean?
I don't know anything, Mr. Santino. My mistress told me to give this to you. She said you'd understand. Don't you?
No, not at all.
Oh, of course I understand, Miss Ibanez. I get it very well. But this case is becoming more and more confusing. It's starting to look like blackmail.
Blackmail?
Blackmail.
Don't play innocent with me.
But...
All right. When can I visit?
visit? Me?
You're already in my office.
Not you. Miss Katsenko.
Oh, yes. You can find her at the Tsar Club.
Didn't you tell me she's not the social kind? That she's especially unsociable? Or does she only like loud and crowded clubs?
No, I don't like those either.
No, she's really not like that. But she owns the place.
Judging by the flyer, it must be a very busy club, especially on New Year's Eve, right?
I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding Miss Katsenko, but there's one small problem, Mr. Featherland.
Ebola.
Let me guess. Mr. Wessler better not know about my visit.
Exactly. How did you know?
Well, I'm a detective, after all, so I mean...
20 years experience, ma'am. Oh, and please, call me Sonny.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Sonny.
I'll talk about the rest with Ms. Katsenko in person. A good friend of mine would be happy to take you home if you'd like.
I'd appreciate that, Sonny.
Find her at the Tsar Club. Natasha must know my wife Molly from somewhere. Or perhaps she is a very good informant. Yeah, I read that right. Sorry, I had to reread that. I must find out what the connection is. Louis C. Hayworth, Rabbit, male, an old friend of mine. He's stuttering heavily when he talks. It's okay, these things happen. Louis is the owner of the once reputable Atlas Hotel and a good old friend of mine. At the moment, he's my landlord. It's only the two of us living in this unbelievably enormous hotel. He's crazy about detective stories, and he gladly helps me whenever I ask him. Louis's phone number is 555-932. Fun fact, I'm old enough to have used a rotary phone when I was but a child. Kids today would have no idea.
Hey, Louis. Am I bothering you?
Only a little.
No. Of course not, Sonny. Old friend, what's up?
Could you come over? I've got a favor to ask if you're not busy.
For you, anything. Just a minute.
Louis arrived a few minutes later. He lived in the rooms above, so it wasn't difficult getting here. Not to mention that he's a rabbit. It was a quick hop. The Atlas Hotel was his inheritance. It was once a well-renowned place, but not anymore. The last economic crisis ruined it. And now, besides me, he was the only resident of this enormous place. The good old rabbit. I can always count on him, even on New Year's Eve.
That's what happens when you got good friends.
Thanks for being so quick, Lewis. Can you drive Miss Ibanez home? I have some things to take care of.
Of course, Sonny. You know, anything for you.
Thank you for being so considerate, Sonny. I appreciate it.
I mean, I am a gentleman after all.
Don't mention it.
Goodbye, then.
So long, Deborah. Before I visit the club, I have to take a detour. I've got a feeling that this case isn't going to be a one-man job. And there's only one bird in this city I can trust. My ex-partner, Marty. He's going to be at the station. I can only hope he'll be willing to talk to me.
Alright.
Behind that door lies the kingdom of dirty clothes, cigarette butts, and empty bottles.
I should have read that. It was not the front door. Main scenes, limited scenes.
It was New Year's Eve, and I was driving, half drunk, risking my whole life's work. But still, it didn't feel any different. Every day was the same. And the 121 days I had left till my retirement seemed like an eternity. When I look out the window of the hotel room I call home, I see the same thing every day. A woman in a red nightgown dances slowly in circles to smooth music. The 9 o'clock show, with a glass of cheap bourbon and the red gown with the silent music. In the meantime, the proud city of Clawville is slowly eating itself alive. And we're still here, with nothing left to lose but our sanity, while others, the smart ones, had already gone. Molly. Does her name really upset me this much? All those years of solitude, and I still jump without question every time I hear it. And then there's Marty, my ex-partner, who hates me. But I know I have to speak with him, no matter what. Why do I feel like the past is watching me on this goddamn night?
It's just me watching you, bud. Chapter 1, Detour.
I knew where to find Marty. At the station, we'd always draw straws about holiday duty. Marty never joined in. He always took the New Year's Eve shift, even though he had someone to go home to. I understood. 10 years ago, we survived the night the press called the Bloody New Year. Forgotten by Clawville, but not by us. We both left parts of ourselves behind that night.
Very interesting. With that, folks, I'm gonna call that an episode. I'm hooked. I'm sold. Love this game's style, the music. It's just adding to it. I love the art style, and it's a little weird to have the animal head on the human body, but small things. Anyways, I appreciate you guys stopping by. Like, comment, subscribe, dislike, hang out, and stay tuned for more. So we got a lot coming in the next couple of weeks.